voice. But not here on my staff. He's going to say a few words. Now, I've been in Congress. This is my 25th year in the House of Representatives. I came here before you were even a dream. But the first time I came to Washington, D.C. was 50 years ago, on May 1st, 1961. Did any of your parents allow you to watch Oprah? Really? Did any of you see Oprah last Wednesday about the Freedom Ride? So you did? But we came here in May 1961 to go on the Freedom Ride. 13 of us, black and white. And we left here on May 4th, 1961, to travel on a Greyhound bus and a Trailway bus. Back in 1961, black people and white people couldn't be seated together on a bus, leaving Washington, D.C. to travel through Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, through Mississippi, on our way to New Orleans. So we were arrested, beaten. One of the people that beat me in Rock Hill, South Carolina, in Charlotte, North Carolina, on May 9th, 1961, came here to the Capitol 2 years ago to apologize. He said that he was sorry. His son had been trying to encourage him and get him to do this for many years. But he said what pushed him over was not only encouragement from his son, but also the election of President Barack Obama. So he was on the show with us. That was on the television a week ago today. But keep this in mind, on May 16th, the Monday evening, they're going to show a film on PBS called The Freedom Ride. They're going to tell the whole story of blacks and white students, young people, but also adults, lawyers and doctors and priests and rabbis and all. More than 400 of us traveling from the north, from other parts of the south, to Mississippi, where we all were arrested, jailed, and we went to the state penitentiary at Harlem. Because of what we did in 1961, they brought down those signs that said white men, colored men, white women, colored women, white waiting, colored waiting, would end segregation and racial discrimination in public transportation all across the South. And now there are 40 students, 2 from Georgia, from several other states and other parts of the world, are traveling right now, retracing the steps of the Freedom Ride. Oprah had almost 200 of us in Chicago taping a show, but more than 400 of us going to have a reunion in Mississippi later this month, near the end of May, around May 25th and 26th. And then I came back here again in 1963, adopted Martin Luther King Jr. I had all of my hair, a few pounds lighter. We met with President Kennedy at the Oval Office at the White House, and we told him we were going to have a march on Washington. This was after hundreds of people had been arrested for sitting in at lunch counters and restaurants. This is after people have been arrested for standing in at theaters. This is after the police commission in Birmingham, whose doors were followed. After full of girls have been bombed and killed. And we had a march on Washington on August 20th, 1963. Have you been to the Lincoln Memorial yet?
Thursday. We'll be there Thursday.
You're going?
Thursday.
You're going on Thursday? But some of you been there? You've been there. But when you go to the top step, notice when you go to the top steps, you see an inscription on it said, I have a dream. Martin Luther King Jr., August 28, 1963. On this August 11th, going to unveil a statue of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a memorial. And it's going to be one of the most moving memorials any place on the mall. So there was 10 speakers at the March on Washington. I spoke number 6, Dr. King spoke number 10. And out of the 10 people that spoke that day, this is the photograph. Speaking at the March of Washington. See, at one time I did have all my hands. After the March on Washington, we turned our attention to registering people to vote. Back in 1963, 64, 65, almost impossible for people of color to register to vote. We've had to pass a so-called literacy test. We got poll tax. On occasion, a man was asked to count the number of bubbles in a bar soap. How many of you smart students can count the number of bubbles in a bar soap? We're asking people sometimes to count the number of jelly beans in the jar. And we have to change that. We have a bar from Selma to Montgomery. Many have been to Selma, walked across the bridge. That's wonderful. I know some of you recognize the name of Jose Williams. You heard of Jose Peter? So this is Jose Williams working with Dr. King. And this is young John Lewis. This is Sunday, March 7th, 1965. We were walking from Selma to Montgomery, 50 miles away, dramatized to the nation and to the world that people of color wanted to register to vote. You notice I'm wearing a backpack at school? Some of you carry a backpack? You call it a little bag? Well, I was wearing a backpack before it became fashionable to wear a backpack. In this backpack, I had 2 books. I wanted to have something to read in jail. I thought we were going to be arrested. I had an apple and I had an orange. I wanted to have something to eat. 1 apple and 1 orange, one lasted. But I also had toothpaste and toothbrush. Since I thought I was going to be in jail with my friends, my colleagues, and neighbors, I wanted to be able to brush my teeth. This man here identified himself as Major John Cloud of the Alabama State Troopers. See, at this point, this is an unlawful march, will not be allowed to continue. I give you 3 minutes to disperse and return to the church. And Jose Williams said to the Major, "Major, give us a moment to kneel and pray." And the Major said, "Troopers, advance." And they came toward us, beating us with nightsticks, bull whips, trampling us with horses, releasing Virginia. And this is what happened to me. 17 of us were hurt, hospitalized, and because of what happened, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and others came to Selma. And a few days later, 8 days later, President Lyndon Johnson came up from the White House to speak to a joint session of the Congress and speak to the American people. He introduced the Voting Rights Act, made one of the most meaningful speeches any American president had made in modern time on the whole question of civil rights or voting rights. He made that speech on March 15, 1965. And the Congress debated the act, the House passed it, the Senate passed it, and it was signed into law on August 6, 1965 by President Johnson. And I was here when he signed the act, and he gave me one of the pens that he used to sign the act, and I have it at home in Atlanta. But because of hundreds and thousands and millions of our citizens got involved because of the support of the President, the Department of Justice, the Congress, the signs that I saw when I was growing up that said white men, colored men, white women, colored women, white waiting, colored waiting, those signs are gone and they will not return. The only place you young people will see those signs today will be in a book, in a museum, or on a video. We live in a better country, in a better world, and we are better people. Now on January the 20th, 2009, when President Obama came out of the Capitol on the other side to participate in his inauguration, be sworn in, take the oath of office, and deliver his inaugural address. One of the first individuals he got to was me. Leaning over, gave me a hug. I hugged him back. And he said, "John, I need your help. I need your prayers." And I said, "Mr. President, you have my help. You have all of my prayers." After he was sworn in, he started speaking. I looked past him. I saw the Lincoln Memorial. I saw the Washington Monument. I started thinking about President Kennedy, Robert Kennedy, President Johnson, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, met Rosa Parks in 1957 when I was 17. I first met Dr. King in 1958 when I was 18. So I think about the young children in Birmingham who marched and went to jail. The 4 little girls, the 3 civil rights workers in Mississippi that was killed. And then I started crying. And then I said to myself, I'm not going to let all these people sit and cry. And I stopped crying. And then we came into a room called Statuary Hall for lunch for the president, the vice president, the family. And the president came around again. He signed on a little piece of paper. He said, because of you, John, Barack Obama. Gave me another hug. He teared up, and I teared up again. And some of you may know about 3 months ago, the President of the United States awarded me the Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian award, honor that American can receive. So I feel more than lucky, but very blessed to see and witness all of the changes that I've seen, and being able to welcome you here to Capitol Hill. So thank you for being here.